Last spring, I walked into a bathroom in a split-level house and found 3 tools laid out across the tile, like somebody had been running a triage unit in there. A plunger, still wet, propped against the tub. A hand auger uncoiled halfway to the door. A shop vacuum parked out in the hallway, with the hose still clipped to the blower port. That homeowner had spent most of a Saturday on one clogged toilet. He had bought every tool the fellow at the hardware store pointed him toward, and that bowl was still full to the rim when I walked in. I cleared it in about 4 minutes with one of the 3 tools he already owned. He was not a careless guy. He had done his homework and worked hard at it. What went wrong was the assignment. He reached for the wrong tool at the wrong stage of the wrong kind of clog. And when the first one failed, he escalated to the next one, which made his situation worse instead of better. And by the time he got to the third, the material in that trap had been packed in so tight that nothing short of pulling the fixture off the floor was going to move it. I have been a master plumber for 35 years. I have cleared thousands of these, in kitchens, in basements, in bathrooms at 2 a.m, with the homeowner standing behind me, and I want to settle this argument for you today. Because the internet is not going to. Plunger, drain snake, or wet vacuum. Which one, when, and why? By the time we are finished, you will know which of the 3 to pick up first for the clog you are staring at, which one to leave in the garage, what each one honestly does badly, and the single rule that applies to all 3 and can put you in an emergency room if you ignore it. Stay with me to the end, too, because one tool in this trio is already sitting in most of your garages. Almost nobody thinks to point it at a drain, and it is the one I reach for on the ugliest blockages I run into. I will get to it. First, though, the idea that makes all 3 of these make sense at once. Every tool in this argument does exactly one thing to the material stuck in your pipe. It pushes it, it bores through it, or it pulls it out of there. That is the whole story. A plunger pushes, an auger bores, and a vacuum pulls. Once you start asking where the mass ends up, rather than which tool is strongest, this stops being a matter of opinion and turns into simple arithmetic. So carry that question with you as we go. Where does the mass go? Tool 1. The plunger earns first position for a reason that has nothing to do with power. It is the only one of the 3 that goes to work without ever touching the clog. No cable running down through your trap, no hose sealed over your drain opening, nothing inserted into anything. A plunger moves a column of water, and the water does the work, which means it is also the only one that cannot really make your afternoon worse. And when you are standing over a bowl, one flush away from soaking your bathroom floor, that counts for more than raw strength. But almost everybody plunges wrong, and the trouble starts with the shape of the tool they were sold. Walk down that aisle, and you will see 2 plungers that look close enough to swap. The first is a plain rubber cup on a stick, flat all the way around the bottom rim, the one every cartoon plumber has been drawn holding. That is a cup plunger. It runs around $8, and it belongs on flat drains, sinks, tubs, shower pans. Anywhere the drain sits in the middle of a flat surface, that rim seals and you have a working chamber. The second one has the same cup with a soft rubber sleeve folded out of the bottom of it, like a collar you can flip in or flip out. That is a flange plunger. It runs $10 to $15, and it exists because the drain opening in your toilet is not flat. It is a curved throat down in the bottom of a porcelain bowl. Fold that flange out, seat it down into the throat, and the sleeve grips that curve and gives you a real seal. Put a flat cup plunger on a toilet, and you are mostly pushing air around the outside of it, which is why so many people stand over a bowl for 10 minutes with water sloshing onto their shoes and nothing happening down below. Buy the flange version. It costs a few dollars more and covers both jobs, because you can tuck that sleeve up inside the cup and use it flat whenever you need to. Now the technique, because this is where the real failures live. Pressure escapes. That is the entire problem in one word. You are trying to shove water down a pipe, and water is lazy, so it leaves through whichever opening is easiest. In a bathroom sink, the easy opening is the overflow, that little slot up near the rim that you have probably never given a thought to. In a kitchen with a double basin, it is the other bowl. In a tub, it is the overflow plate up under the spout. Every one of those is a hole in your pressure chamber, and if you leave it open, a good share of what you push comes right back out of it. So before you plunge a thing, find the second opening and plug it. A wet rag stuffed in hard, with a hand held on top, is all it takes. It is not elegant, you will feel foolish doing it, and it roughly doubles the force that arrives at the clog. Then get some water in the basin. A plunger with air underneath it accomplishes nothing at all, because air compresses and water does not. 2 or 3 inches of standing water over the drain gives you something solid to move. In a toilet, if the bowl has drained low, pour water from a bucket until that cup is submerged. Then comes the stroke, and the stroke runs backwards from what instinct tells you. Press down slow and pull up sharp. Everybody does the reverse. They hammer down hard, which compacts the clog tighter against the pipe wall, and then they lift gently, which does nothing at all. Your clearing power lives in the pull, because the pull draws suction that loosens the mass and brings it back toward you. Seat the plunger, press down steadily once to purge the air, then work your strokes with the emphasis on the way up. 10 of those, then break the seal and watch what the water does. If the water leaves, you won. Rinse the plunger off in the flush and put the thing away. And if the water does not leave, this is where the mass went. It did not evaporate. A plunger that fails has either done nothing, which costs you nothing, or it has taken a soft blockage and pressed it more firmly into place, which costs you plenty. That second outcome is the honest weakness of this tool, and it is the reason for the rule I am about to hand you. 3 rounds. If a properly sealed plunger with proper technique has not moved a clog in 3 honest rounds, it will not move it on the 4th. Stop right there. Every extra round past that point packs material in tighter and steals options from whatever you try next. Set the plunger down and change tools. Quick pause before we open up the second tool. The book I put together, 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes That Will Save You. $10,000 walks you through 50 repairs a homeowner can finish on a Saturday with ordinary tools, and it tells you plainly which jobs are safe to take on yourself and which ones are worth a phone call. Scan the code on your screen. Tool 2, the hand auger, which most everybody calls a drain snake. What you are holding is a long, flexible steel cable coiled inside a drum, with a corkscrew head on the business end and a hand crank on the side. A standard homeowner auger runs about $25 and gives you 15 or 25 feet of cable. You feed it down the drain, and when it stops against something, you crank the drum so the head spins and bites into whatever is down there. There is a second version built for toilets called a closet auger, and it costs $30 to $45. It is short, it has a rigid bend at the top shaped to match the curve of a toilet trap, and the important part is that it has a plastic or rubber sleeve covering the shaft where it rides against the porcelain. That sleeve is the whole reason to own the specialized version, and it brings me to the first honest weakness. A bare steel cable spun against the inside of a toilet bowl leaves permanent scratches, and I mean permanent. Porcelain glaze is a hard glassy skin over soft clay, and once you cut through it, you have opened the material underneath, so that bowl now stains in a way no scrubbing will ever undo. I have watched homeowners save $20 on the tool and hand themselves a bowl they hate looking at for 15 years. If you are going into a toilet, use the sleeved closet auger or use something else entirely. The second weakness is the one nobody mentions, and it matters far more. An auger head is a corkscrew, maybe 5/8 of an inch across. Your kitchen drain line is 1.5 to 2 inches across. When that head meets a soft grease and soap blockage, it does not remove it. It bores a channel straight through the middle and comes back out. You feel it break through, you hear the water take off, and you coil the cable back into the drum feeling like a hero. What you did was drill a tunnel through soft material that is still sitting in there, still tacky, still the exact texture that grabs the next thing coming down the pipe. That drain will be slow again inside a month or two, and you will blame the drain. The third weakness rides along with the second. A cable pushing on a mass that is loose rather than stuck can drive the whole thing farther down the run, out of reach of every tool in your garage, and park it where a technician has to open a cleanout to reach it. So what is the auger genuinely good at? 2 things, and it is the only one of the 3 that can do either. Hair. A bathroom sink or a shower drain clogged with a hair mat is exactly the target this tool was designed for. Hair grabs that corkscrew head and stays grabbed, and you pull the whole ugly bundle straight up and out. Nothing else in this video does that, and solid objects sitting mid-pipe, a toy, a toothbrush handle, a bottle cap lodged in a bend where suction cannot reach and water pressure will not move it. The auger goes and gates it. That is a real specialty. Just know what it is, and know that pointing it at a soft grease clog buys you a few weeks and sells you a repeat visit. Which brings us to the tool I promised you at the top. Tool 3 is the wet and dry vacuum, the shop vacuum, the orange or gray drum most of you already have sitting in the garage under a tarp. It is the most underrated clog tool in American homes by a wide margin. Start with the safety line, because there is one. It has to be a wet-rated unit. A regular household vacuum has an open motor sitting right above a paper bag, and the first ounce of water destroys the machine and can shock you while it happens. Look for the words wet and dry on the housing, and follow whatever your manual says about removing the paper filter before wet pickup, because on nearly every unit that filter comes out first. Now here is why this thing wins. The fights it wins. Go back to our question. The one about where the mass ends up. A plunger pushes the mass. An auger bores through the mass. A vacuum is the only one of the 3 that removes the mass from your house entirely. It comes up the pipe, into the drum, and you carry the drum outside and dump it. That is a different category of outcome from the other 2, and it explains when this tool shines. It shines on a full blockage with standing water. That is the situation where the other 2 are at their weakest, and it is the exact situation where the vacuum is at its strongest, because the standing water it has to deal with is fuel rather than a nuisance. That column of water carries the pull straight down to the plug, and suction that lifts water will also lift the greasy mass sitting behind it. It shines on soft blockages, for the same reason the auger fails on them. Grease and soap and food starch have no structural strength to speak of. They resist being pushed and bored, but they come apart and travel readily when something pulls them. And once it is up in the drum, it is gone rather than relocated. And it shines on a toilet, holding a hard object, which is the one job where you truly do not want to push. A ring, a toy, a dental appliance. Suction lifts those out, where pushing only drives them deeper into the wall. The technique is short. Set the unit for wet pickup and pull the filter as your manual instructs. Get the hose sealed over the drain opening as tightly as you can manage. The nozzle alone rarely seals well, so wrap a wet rag around the hose end and press it into the drain, or cut a hole in an old plunger cup and run the hose through it to borrow the seal from the rubber. Then pull in bursts of 1 to 2 minutes rather than running the machine continuously. Stop, check the drum, and go again. You will know right away whether it is working, because a working pull sounds different and the water level drops while you listen to it. What this tool cannot do is reach. Suction falls off fast with distance, so anything sitting more than a few feet down the run is beyond it. It will do nothing for root intrusion, nothing for a collapsed line, and nothing for a main line backup where every fixture in the house goes at once. That last one means no tool in this video applies, and it is time for a phone call. So here is the verdict, sorted by what you are actually looking at. Toilet clogged, water rising, the situation fresh. Flange plunger, 3 honest rounds, and 9 times out of 10, you are done before you take your shoes off. Toilet still blocked after those 3 rounds, and you have reason to think something solid went down there. Vacuum first, closet auger second, never the bare cable. Bathroom sink or shower draining slow, and you can see hair at the opening. Auger, or a cheap plastic hair tool, straight down the drain. This is the one job the snake owns outright. Kitchen sink standing full and refusing to move. Plunger 3 rounds with the second basin sealed, then the vacuum. Skip the snake unless you have already tried both, because a kitchen blockage is soft 9 times out of 10, and boring a tunnel through soft material is a repair with an expiration date on it. Every fixture in the house backing up at once, or a drain that keeps failing on a schedule no matter what you do. That is a line problem rather than a clog problem, and none of these 3 tools is the answer. Now the money, which is why any of this matters. A cup plunger is $8. A flange plunger is $10 to $15. A hand auger is around $25, and a closet auger runs $30 to $45. If you already own the shop vacuum, and a great many of you do, you can own every tool in this video for under $60 one time and keep them in the garage for life. A drain service visit in most of the country runs $150 to $250 for a straightforward clog, and more on a weekend or in a metro market. I have written plenty of those tickets myself, and I never felt terrific about the ones a $60 shelf in the garage would have handled. Before you go, though, there is one boundary that applies to all 3 tools without exception, and this is the safety piece I promised you. None of these tools touches a fixture holding chemical drain cleaner. Not one of them. If somebody poured a caustic product down that drain and it did not clear, you now have a fixture full of standing water with a strong base or acid dissolved in it. And it looks like ordinary dirty water. There is no way to tell by looking. Plunging it splashes it, and it will find your face and your forearms. Snaking it brings the cable back up coated and dripping, and you are handling that cable bare-handed. A wet vacuum is the worst of the 3, because it aerosolizes the liquid and blows the mist back out into the small closed room you are standing in. If product went down there, stop. Follow the label directions about flushing the fixture. Give it real time, and if it is still blocked, make the call and tell the plumber exactly what went in. We would all much rather know. One more thing before I let you go, and it is the move I would try before I picked up any auger at a bathroom sink. Open the cabinet underneath and look at the curved section of pipe below the drain, the bend called the trap. Slide a bucket underneath, loosen the 2 big plastic nuts at either end by hand, and lift the trap right off. Whatever is in there falls into your bucket. You rinse the piece in the tub and thread it back on hand tight. 5 minutes, no tools required on most plastic traps, and it solves a huge share of bathroom sink clogs without any of the 3 we just spent this video arguing about. One last thing, and it is quick. 50 Easy Plumbing. Fixes that will save you. $10,000 is built for the small problems that turn expensive while you are not looking, so you catch them early instead of paying late. Scan the code on your screen for your copy. And subscribe to the Mark Silverbridge channel for more honest fixes that keep your money where it belongs.